Okay, guys, correct these sentences. A alligator caused a fright when it escaped from the Bronx Zoo. A alligator. So right away, we have to change the A. We have to change that to an. And here's why. It has to be an because, and it's capitalized, so I'm not going to put the 3 lines underneath it because it is capitalized already. An alligator. The reason why is because of this A right here. If the next word starts with a vowel, A has to be changed to an. Okay? An alligator caused a fright when it escaped from the Bronx Zoo. An alligator caused a fright when it escaped from the Bronx Zoo. Now, some of you are going to want to put a comma. Probably, let me see here. Let me get the line. Some of you might want to put a comma. An alligator caused a fright when right here. You don't have to, but if you did, fine. An alligator caused a fright when it escaped. I don't think you have to at all. I would say just leave that out. An alligator caused a fright when it escaped from the Bronx Zoo. Now, Bronx Zoo, though, has to be underlined because that is the name of a business. And the name of the business is Bronx Zoo. It's not just Bronx, it's Bronx Zoo. So I'm going to put a period at the end. So it does need to be capitalized, both words, just like any name of any business. An alligator caused a fright when it escaped from the Bronx Zoo. Okay, let's go to number 2. The reporter asked, do you plan to run for re-election, Mr. President? Okay, so we got a lot going on, guys. So we have a speech tag. The reporter asked. It should be asked, of course, but this is the speech tag. So let me undo that and let me actually just type that in. So it should say, the reporter asked. Now, that being said, asked, I'm going to cross that off. I'm going to cross all this off. Okay, the reporter asked. That's the speech tag. Now, after that, we have to have a comma because we're going to start what the reporter actually said. Now, this is what the reporter said, so I'm going to put quotations around it. Do you plan to run for re-election, Mr. President? Now, there's the quotes because this is what the reporter asked. That's ridiculous. Nobody would ever spell it that way. So let me change that real quick. Plan to run for re-election, Mr. President. Now, we have a direct address, but it's at the end of the sentence. So we need to put a comma here, separating this, Mr. President. Do you plan to run for re-election, Mr. President? Okay, that's the direct address. They just put it at the end of the sentence. Now, I do need to put a question mark here before the last quotation because it's a question. Also, I need to capitalize Mr. President because they're acting like that is the name and title, Mr. President. If I can get that to work. Period after Mr. because it's an abbreviation. And then President needs to be capitalized too because this is acting as if it's a name, Mr. President. The reporter asked, do you plan to run for re-election, Mr. President? Oh, and I almost forgot. Always capitalize the first word in a sentence because this is where the sentence actually starts. Okay, subject pronoun or object pronoun. And they gave us both questions here to kind of mess us up a little bit. Well, guys, a subject pronoun is simply is it in the subject or not. And the subject is you. Can you help her cross the street? So if the subject is you, then her would be in the predicate, so it would be an object pronoun in that case. Her would be an object pronoun. Okay. When will they be here? They is actually the subject in this sentence, so it would be a subject pronoun. I'm not going to go into too much depth there. And what do these words have in common? I'll let you figure that out. All right.